episode 12, I think we're at now, part 3 of the dang series. I made it to the Grandmapocalypse in just 4.5 days. Popped one of these guys by accident. I'm at 36 prestige now. I'm at 5 days into this run. This is my first set of wrinklers. I popped one by accident and got the achievement down here. The itch scratcher. Got the exotic nuts there for plus 4%. I'm charging the mouse right now, and I had an elder frenzy like a half an hour ago or something. And I tried to get 2 conjure bait goods for an hour of CPS and then a Godzamok for the rest of it during it. Did a decent amount, but not quite as much as I hoped it would do. I don't know why that happened. And the only problem with this Korea in the ruby slot is that it makes everything a Wrath cookie, and it's way more likely to be something bad. And so I'm thinking I'm going to... Ooh. What would that do? 3.8. Well, first of all, bam bam for those. Or would that do it? For 1.7? I'm gonna go to 5 on that and then buy this. Right. To be at 38 with wrinklers now. And then I suppose I'll go by 10, just buy whatever I can here. Like 190 and 200 cursors for the digital. There you go. There is bam. Bam. Like bam and bam. Let's go to that. And this is, I get to pop them hardly at all. Get those grandmas right now, literally. Full grandmas, and then quadrillion fingers. Yowza. And I can pop that for just about a quad per, just under that. Should I go to that for ambrosia or something? Should I go for a few more antimatter condensers? Or should I go for the next prism, perhaps? Let's go for the second prism here. Either those two for 4 more %. And this is a hefty amount now. Like, I wonder if I swapped that right now. If I took Godzamok off just for a second. Could that work even right now? It semi-did. You shouldn't have done that. Because when I have to put Godzamok back in there. Nope, I think I can still manage. It's fine. Like 100 towers, you think that would happen? You think 150 factories would happen? You think 200 grandmas might be there? For any more of the achievements? Could either 20 time machines or 10 condensers happen? I think 20 time machines for like 7 or 8 more probably could happen. Because I don't think that ambrosia is really worth it right now. I would love to, go 21 quad and double the prisms for like 30 more. That'd be freaking insane. I'm in the 30s now on prestige. So I guess I'm going to leave Skoria off of it, actually, and only swap that in right before popping it, just for a few minutes, right? Then for the remainder of the time, I will actually put Skoria off and maybe just put either Cyclist or Jeremy or something back in. Or Myrtle. Because it's going to significantly stunt progress if I can get no combos at all. Because they're all bad, and that's not going to work. And I just get the... I tried to do Godzamok, Elder Frenzy, with 2 conjure bait goods on that as well. And it did a decent amount, but not quite as much as I hoped it would. With crap like that, yeah. try to think what else I get. There's still 4 more, keep in mind. I'm going to attempt 200 grandmas for Ruler of the Ancients. Get the Extreme Walkers. And then I should really focus on one more achievement here, not just balancing things out. With 100 towers for more magic as well. Ugh. It's either that, 150 factories, 100 towers, 50 portals is sure as crud not on the list right now. Could I go to 20 time machines? I sure as frick could not. I maybe could go to 10 condensers here. For that, that's like 22 more, actually. One more. For bangers for 10 condensers. And then 20 time machines. Got to both right now. Then your last dang wrinkler here. Your last goddamn one. For maybe. Cheapest one on here is 150 AM. And either Ultimate Automation, at 38 now, for 65 trillion, so there was the first set of wrinklers. I have to swap in Godzamok onto that directly. That better be 1, goddamn, thank you. Then I am putting either buildings produce more with a hair less on Golden and Wrath Cookie. Oh, frick. Is that going to slow it down enough to prevent the Lucky during the Frenzy and so on? Yeah, these ought to come back. Thank you. We're not going to get anywhere if I can't freaking have that, man. Like with Skoria doing that to me. No, dude. Yeah, so it is Sunday, May 3rd, 1:42. All the windows are shut in here, all the blinds are closed. And then all these guys come back just as fast without Skoria anyway. Yeah, I was thinking Cyclius, but you know what? I'm thinking that Mirador is supposed to work with Godzamok when you have a Godzamok on a Click Frenzy or Frenzy. Which that whole combo going. The like additional 5 or 10% off of Mirador. Is that supposed to make your Godzamok boost even more insane? I'm thinking. So that could be smart, or just a general boost in all the buildings, with a bit less on the golden cookies. Because I think Jeremy and Mirador can both be pretty freaking swell here. And then I've got a lump, but I can't upgrade nothing yet. I already have all of the dang mini games, and I had a bifurcated lump yesterday, but I didn't get both though. Got the achievement for it. So what would be best here? And then check the stock market as well. But the only investment in sugar is plummeting. That's nice. Yeah. Okay, hold on. How is 120 at 31 bucks? How is that 530 trillion still? Kind of crud. And yeah, you can well buy that, by the way. But I'm now over 100 billion like that per second, just from the first set of wrinklers, which of course the first 10 aren't going to be too swell, how those were just now. But like tomorrow's set, and then the one after that, and so on, that should shoot us through 50, 70, 100 levels, 100 plus. And then 100 quad. I don't think it happened this episode unless a crazy thing happens. Have no idea. That went back up. Okay, good. That Wrath Cookie was a lucky on that Frenzy. The frick on earth? Making no sense up here right now in the Grandmapocalypse. And I wanted to film One Mind last night, but I was like, you know what? I think it would make more sense, be better, to show you a significant progress jump of the first set of wrinklers. So I got 100 upgrades, got 1,000 buildings, I got over 141 billion per second just now. Okay, yowza. Yeah, so a trillion per second is the goal here, obviously. I'm 10 out from rank 5, carry my milk. Yeah, Let's Never Bake Again is right there, and then so is Timeless Bakery. These guys are still popping up quite fast, even without the dang screw on there. Got my quadrillion fingers for 200 cursors and grandmas for the digital and something else. And the ruler of the ancients. I would love to sell some cereal. I think they'd be 888 trillion right now. I could double my cookies if I could sell cereal. And can you frick no? Of course not. Oh, I forgot I didn't see I had eggs. I had eggs that are shooting up there. I did not see that. And then, of course, those aren't even worth freaking any. Kind of. Nah. Because I've only got one here. Make up your mind. I'm having a bit more powerful Gods Amok, I think. With all buildings doing less. Or, the other way around, a bit less often on the buffs. But all buildings do way more. I'm thinking Jeremy, honestly. Because I think Gods Amok on a 5439, which is a click frenzy on a frenzy, is times 5,439. Times more for like 20-ish some seconds. I think that is already plenty insane enough as it is. And the Conjure Baked Goods twice for an hour of CPS did not prove to be quite as good as I was hoping it would be on the Elder Frenzy. I can do this now. Hippie hooray. Be prepared to sell, though, when crap goes down. Frick was it that? That's the nameless one. But I can get dang near a trillion per second now on that frenzy. I think the clicking from Gods Amok is already plenty strong enough if I have the right buffs, the right combo. I'm thinking I'm gonna put Jeremy in here. That was pretty solid. That was pretty goddamn solid. That was like 8 or 9 more, dude. And that is just for the time being, until 24 hours from now, with the next set of wrinklers, when it's time to pop them. See, I'm wondering though, will y'all accumulate? Do they have to accumulate over that time? Scree has to stay in there for the whole however many hours they stay eating it. Or can I swap Scree in there last second and it'll just pop more right there and then? The latter is much preferred to keep these dang combos coming for the early on stages of the Grandmapocalypse right now. Yeah, so 90 achievements is still quite swell. We're also looking for 100 plants and 99 spells coming up. And I'm trying to talk words, dude. Crone rice here. They got the garden going pretty strong, obviously. Got a thumb corn. I don't know why. It's pretty strange, by the way. It happens all the time. Is the thumb corn was way more difficult than the crone rice, which took way longer. Which takes longer to grow. It has the crone rice as 0.01 less often than a thumb corn, and yet the thumb corn took freaking 15 tries, and I get crone rice on take 2. Like, okay then, fix your math. Thumb corn, crone rice, guild millet seed with ordinary clover seed, which you can't even use right now. The shimmer lily, and then the middle weed frickery one. I'm getting good luckies on that, no way. Oh, I can't even do this. I can't even mutate the two of them. I can't even put the shimmer lily in there for the elder ward or some crap. I can't even do that right now. Because it's freaking 3. Oh, no. No, I know that was on the goddamn thing. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Never mind. Because that buff was changing, what it's worth on CPS. Because to plant a seed, it's a certain amount of CPS, like an hour of CPS. And that, goes way higher, obviously, on frenzies and crap. So am I saving this lump for the occasion? For the combo? Don't know what I'm doing here. I've now got Golden Wrath cookies appearing a good 11% less. with Mo Calcium and Jeremy on that. But even with that, I'm still getting them fairly often. The getting overseers are about to be wicked. Still 97 with like 6 of y'all on here. With 7 of y'all on here. Got 150 men. Officially just hit 30,000 cookie clicks, and then it's also 9 billion per click now. I've got 29 quad handmade. Got Click Narc right there. And the Eludium mouse. The Extreme Walkers just now, of course. Got 10 Grandma types. Got the Grandmas just now, obviously. Some pretty sick buffs here would be nice. Another 5, 4, 3, 9 of that Gods of Market with this going on. Now, here's the issue, though, is when you're charging the freaking mouse over here, can the mouse just not be low in the first place? Is on the crazy Gods of Market buff, and I spam here. Can you keep this on the cookie and not pop one of their freaking wrinklers by accident? That'd be a disaster now. But I have that going. That for 2% more. Yeah, there is no more dang. Or just the basic regular Force the Hand of Fates and yeah, I'm now thinking that Force the Hand of Fate is actually much, much better than Conjure Baked Goods. And then screw the rest of the whole Grimoire, by the way. All active buffs gain. And then this one is just a menace. Is the spell picks a random building you could afford if you had twice your current cookies and gives it to you for free. The building selected must be under 400 and cannot be your most built unless it's your only one. So, okay. It's also way too much goddamn magic, by the way. Holy crap. Could give you a random building for free if you had twice your current cookies. AKA like the third prism. I might get the third prism from that for free. But then I might lose a random building that I could buy back piece of... Ooh, what if I lose that? That's the thing though. Yeah. What kind of a spell is that? Upgrades are 2% cheaper for a minute. Yeah, it was a waste of magic. Like, just do not buy these. Buildings are a bit cheap. Once again, I'm here. And then a random spell half the magic cost, twice the chance of backfiring. Frick that. And then I could instantly summon a wrinkler for 20. Once again, just wait. Just have some patience. What is the point of that? And you can make spells backfire 10 times less for the next 5 minutes. I feel like the rest of these are hardly worth it. Hence why we always focus on these two. Yeah. I still got that during it. With 11% less. Yeah, I was going to say, his progress, of roaring through the quads and everything, is not going to happen if I don't have roaring through the quadrillions is not going to happen if I don't have any of the lucky buffs and crap from the click frenzies and frenzies from the golden cookies that Scaria takes away. So I cannot have that on there. I can only have that on. Can only do that. Can only do that. Speak right now. When I'm putting Scaria in there to pop all of them at the end of each freaking set and crap. But until then, put Jeremy and Mo Calcium back in there, and so on. Just for, a general milk and CPS, a milk and building boost buff. Buff boost, okay. I can't talk today, good God. Just kind of a progress update. I feel like in this later stage here of your first ascension, when you get to the Grandmapocalypse, it is just, once again, you gotta rely on just being, the occasional good luck of a sick combo, and then just popping the next 10 wrinklers every 24 hours. And that's kind of about all you can do. It has been 5 days now. Today is day 6, technically. So it has been 122 hours or some quit. Yeah. Into it here. So I got to quad in like 3.5 days or 4 days or some quit. I will get to quintillion in potentially under a week. That would be kind of sick. And then potentially ascending in under 10 days would be berserk. Not meant to be that long of an episode. I'm not so sure the great big marathon episodes can quite be a thing up here at this point. Unless like either some crazy good stocks or crazy good combos. Apart from that, not really. Oh, dude. Eggs. Yeah, case in point. What the frick was that? They're still going up a hair a bit, I guess. For then you're a quad off of that. And then if cereal could not be 111 right now, I would love to buy that. But if I sold that, yowzers, I could double my cookies right now with cereal. That's what I mean. Is when you buy a lot more buildings, the stocks can get hectic right now. When you have like over 150 or a couple hundred, 250, 300 shares of a certain stock, you can get freaking 2, 3, 4 times more of your current bank. Even way up here. And then I would upgrade, upgrade the credit garage for level 2 cursors at 100 of them? Yeah, nah. And you could hire a broker for a decent amount of cookies. Okay, you can't speak today. Would you stop? A nice broker to trade more cookies. Frick was that, by the way. Should I just let this keep crawling up? I think so. Buying goods normally incurs overhead costs of 20% extra. Each broker you hire reduces the cost by 5%. Current overhead costs, thanks to your brokers, are 20%. Buying a broker costs 20 minutes of CPS. The maximum number that you can own is 20. The highest amount of grandmas you've owned this run divided by 10 plus your grandma level. Was there not an I might just get me a broker. I got a broker. Will that make things cheaper somehow? I have no idea. Is there an achievement for like 100,000 profit, by the way? I'm not sure. I forget if there was one for like 7 lumps or 20 something lumps. 30, whatever it was. There's 100 upgrades, right? And cookie chain, I'm actually getting there to 777. Golden cookies clicked. This needs to do 777 trillion to be insane. They've all been right in here. Interesting. Was a rat, I swear to you. It will, and it frickin' will. Oh my god, right now. It literally did. Yowza. That was pretty decent. Like, I'm attempting to leave the camera on for one of these, you know, freak lucky accidents again. I'm gonna sell that for 4 quad, kind of a major profit. And by the way, I sold that at the perfect interval. Holy crap, I sold that perfectly. And then there is no good deal right now on the stock market? Okay, then. I might attempt this dang elder wart or some crud again. And then hopefully get lucky or something. Once more. Oh, God. Or go for the next farm level tomorrow. Might be what I do. So this should be a pretty darn good ways along from where we just were in part 2. Yeah. Hoping to get lucky on something and maybe get that seed. Like, yeah. When it's over 100 shares, or even 200 shares, and it's over $100, it does quads. It does stupid amount. Yeah, look at this, like 1, 2, 3 quad up here. Yowza. When it's a decent price and crap. Alright, quadded that, fine. No. Like even those over a quad, yeah. This is what I mean. The only progress this late into it is a super lucky combo once in a great while, and then popping wrinklers. And maybe a bit of stock market, that's about it. Like, I don't know what the super good gameplay is to get to where you need to be 440 in like a day or two. Kind of crazy that. God. This may not be like a great big marathon type episode. I don't know. It just kind of came on here for a progress update, right? To show the one mind and the first bit of wrinkler popping. Ain't a whole lot else I can think of. Anything else that I can buy right here? The ambrosia, can I get that? The like 100 towers. It's doable, but could be a bit much. Yeah, a bit much. But bam, okay, we can also go for that, and that. And then even that as well, okay. So, alright, that was a bit more. And then School of Sorcery coming up next. For 545 mil, it'll be a bit more than that. So yeah, the 150 billion per second all of a sudden, from the like a third of that or a quarter of that, whatever I was just at before all this crud, is fairly goddamn decent. 111 upgrades. Yeah, was it? Swear. A 100 quad is a ways out. That's like several hours out. And it's always a trillion per second. That'll be freaking tomorrow at this rate. Where could I end? Could I end with either potentially getting the Elder Word or getting... That was a couple more just then on the achievements. See, I know that waiting to pop them, like waiting a super long time to pop it, is preferred. I am wondering, because I saw when I was popping the first set, I saw the number climbing as I was popping them. So I'm thinking it is accumulative. And it may not be that helpful to actually wait. I mean, who knows? Maybe it is. Wondering if, like, just some, the occasional small pops after half an hour to an hour or so to get something like that for a quick CPS boost. If something like that could be worth it. Yep, nothing there. This is the real boring part of the game, folks. Gets a bit passive right about here. I could potentially just force the hand of fate right here. It is in fact 2 o'clock now. Hooray for May. It is consistently the 70s and 80s now for May. Good, like it should be. It's about 25 seconds per magic on that, so I'm gonna well get this here. Watch it backfire, just ring. Be prepared to sell, just in case here. Would be a huge thing. I'm gonna go for a 3 right here, whatever it might be. Okay. I need some good RNG here. I need a crazy thing like that. Another 5, 4, 3, 9 or something. And then I might just leave that on for the next, the other one that comes in here in a minute. And crap. But then watch that's a goddamn ruin or some crap. Like, am I refilling to go, might have used that for my lump here? Or save that. Might be smart and save my lump. For either the next farm level or the next something or other. And then, of course, the first chance maker is way out there. It's 26, man. Let's check stocks again. 26, sugar's going down. Good. Yeah. We're waiting. Yeah, if you have any hope of this bakery going anywhere during the Grandmapocalypse here, then let's leave Scoria off and keep the buffs on whenever possible right now. I'm looking around right about now. I'm looking around for it. For the other dude. Where's the last wrinkler, by the way? I am looking. I'm pretty sure I clicked this one fairly fast. So I'm looking. There it is. Yeah, it just resets it. Wow, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna buy 100 of those for septillion. Yep, sure. No, I'm not. So am I waiting again? Am I using this lump to go for a potential 3 combo? To lucky click frenzy it or some quit on this thing. Like, who knows? But the fact that I'm back-to-back lucky now, just sitting here waiting around. Sugar's going down. Good. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. Yeah, it's when you're putting Scree on here. And I ain't got no dang buffs and no combos. That can screw this whole thing so hard. That matures about an hour and 12. Not enough even still now. Okay. Like, I would love something. This is just a waiting game for the other golden cookie now. Yeah, I should save my wrinklers just whenever possible and try to stay lucky, stay happy-go-lucky on my buffs and combos. For progress for now, this is what you gotta heavily rely on to even make it through here and get you where you gotta be about a week or so. And of course, that was basic as crap. That was basic as crap. Of course it was. Never mind. It's just waiting for sugar to go down to freaking buy it eventually for a price that ain't that ain't all my cookies, by the way. Oh my god. I'll wait for that to be $1 right now before I buy that. And then can everything else not be 90 or 120 right now? And cereal is still 100. Okay. Sugar's at 18. Thank crud. I don't know where this last 10th wrinkler is right now. Like now, this is just like golden cookie farming now. Just waiting for the next one to show up. Waiting for my the stocks in the garden to semi-cooperate. I have a broker. I don't know what she's doing for me though. And then I can't buy crud at this dang stage, obviously. It's now at 15. Good. So how's your weekend? Swear. Because I can't do nothing. Am I going to sit here and waste all of it on buying stuff? It's stuff that won't do crud for CPS at this point. Like, what am I doing here? I think potentially I'm going to try and do something. I'm getting an idea here. Maybe. But I invest in these, sugar stocks in a sec here as they keep going down. Crud. Then just spend all that I've got left on buying anything, dude. Yeah, sugar just plummeting right now. Had another idea. Freaking buying with whatever I've got left over here. And then popping these wrinklers early on when I'm super duper low can be a decent amount already for what it is. And then using that to buy a bit more again. Just for maximum CPS. And then the new guys that come in will consume more. That was 200 IQ just now. That was 200 IQ just now. Hold up. Where I'm gonna... Yeah, the 9. Is I'm gonna buy some sugar stocks here. Buy what I can. Pop these guys early on. For just a decent amount back. A decent amount back for now. And then buy a bit more again for even higher CPS. And then the next set of wrinklers that come in will consume even more because of the higher CPS. That may not be a bad game plan right now. And then, of course, trying to get lucky when able. That might be how I end. Either that or attempting to get the Elder Wart. Yeah. So sugar was at 9. It is now at Buy it, okay. Like I'm gonna have to because that was as low as it went. I should have bought it at $9. Frick me, man. Alright. And then I lucky that. That is $1 billion right there, okay. I'm just gonna go buy one, buy what I can here, dude. Yeah. Farm, mine. Boom, ba ba. Yeah. That was 250 trillion already. And then I can't freaking. I'm not gonna get the extra. Obviously, but it's fine though. Just to kind of putz around. And buy a bit more here. You know? Duh. Da-da. Da-da. The 21st time machine. And crap, right? Frick was that 400 for? The next antimatter condenser. Yowza, there you go. I'm gonna keep goofing off here with some bullcrap. Like all that. These dudes are 4 out of nowhere. Should I try and save one of the wrinklers here to get the Madeline Lidls? The Lidl? Should I lucky my way up to it? Sugar, make up your mind. Oh my god. I'm gonna sell the sugar that I got just for that, crud. And then if you stay down low, I'm gonna try and rebuy that here in a sec. You freaking get a life right now. Like that here. There you go. That was a fair amount. Like boom and boom on those. Heck yeah, that was. There's still that one as well. What is it? Some are 250, some are 400. Why? And that, okay, maybe we're not doing goddamn. Maybe I don't have to wait overnight necessarily to make, you know, decent bumps in progress like that. Maybe I don't. And I gotta buy them now. You suck. Like, they were 6 before. What kind of crap? And crud. I could dang near just freaking click to that one and get to it. Like, you were 6. Can you not be 8 all of a sudden? What are you smoking sugar? Here is that for all of it, dude. Right? I was back to $1 billion for a sec. Yowza. Yeah, I can't get any dang stocks now. It's going back up anyway, okay. You know, never mind. Okay then. But anything else on here? Not really. I hope and pray sugar goes back up at some point because it's being a bum right now. I should have bought it when it was like freaking at 6 or some crap, whatever it was at. And that is still building. Is the best time increment to pop wrinklers. as rarely as possible, a massive surge to buy an expensive building or upgrade, a compounding massive return on investment, over 1,000% total gain. Constantly popping them actually lowers your long-term passive production. The only time you should pop them is when you have enough in their banks to afford a significant upgrade will boost your CPS. Let them sit and munch while you are away. Pop them only upon returning to either, okay, so only when to buy a building or an upgrade here, I see. So basically, only when you need them to buy stuff, which is basically what I did just now. Yeah, it's only popping them to when you gotta buy more stuff and keep CPS moving. Yeah. Pop them right before ascending to maximize total prestige, obviously. For seasonal, pop them to collect the unique cookies and eggs and stuff. Only pop when you have all them present, obviously. Before popping, put Scurria into the diamond slot. Okay. Do not pop during active gameplay. If you're playing actively and clicking golden cookies, do not pop them all, as they reduce current CPS by 5% each while active. And then, of course, a shiny wrinklers, which I got last time. That was insane. May not this time. That is still going up. That is still maturing. I swear. Oh, of course it's at 3 now. Okay, it's at 1 now. Sugar. Make up your mind, broski. What the frick was it I had? I'm at 9, 11, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. No, dude, no. Frickin' you're at $1.35 now. Kinda crap. I should be buying that now at goddamn 29. Swear to God. And then literally nothing else on here can be bought, I swear right now. It's the only dang thing. Look at that, way down there. So way to go on sugar being a major freaking troll right now. So you basically just let them sit. Make sure you have all 10. Put Scurria in there, obviously. Not sure it needs to be 24 hours, just whenever you need to get something that would significantly help the progress. If cereal ever goes down to $1 worse, I can drink that and I'll get a major, oh, swear to God on this run, all freaking. And then I still can't even get the goddamn seed and grow. And that is passively giving a plus 3% to the grandma CPS when it does that, by the way. So, yeah. What are we at now, by the way? Yeah. Might end it pretty soon. Might figure out the seed thing off camera. I think we have bought, basically, all that we need to buy. You think anti-grandmas eventually? Oh my God. So just kind of let them sit. But it may not have to be over 24 hours. I want to ask that again. Rarely based, it's a bit different now. Rarely based on a specific time increment. You have either enough to pay for a major upgrade or before you ascend. Right. Is when you have enough to get something. Right before you need to purchase an expensive building or an upgrade. Only pop them when all are filled, obviously. When idling, you can leave the game for a long period overnight. You can pop them, let them fully respawn, and leave them, or simply leave them for days at a time. Pop them for stuff. While some suggest roughly every hour or when they have matured, the consensus is that the longer you wait, the higher the efficiency, making them essentially a high-interest piggy bank. So it does not necessarily... Does it necessarily... Which this is covered, by the way, on the face cam, I think, when I'm asking this here. Be every 24 hours. To maximize critical purchases and CPS. God dang it, stop. It favors long-term, avoiding accumulation. The longer you leave them alone, the more efficient they become as a bank. Each wrinkler's payout is calculated based on the total amount withered by all active wrinklers. That means with all 10, you're effectively increasing CPS roughly 6, or 11 with 14. They're only a passive CPS bonus. When those increments are better, such as a critical milestone purchase, like a kitten upgrade, the immediate gain can outweigh the wait, or a seasonal hunting or an achievement hunting. Okay. The Pop 1 strategy. If you need a small injection of cash, but do not want to lose efficiency, pop only one at a time. This keeps multiplier at roughly 5 while you wait for that single one to respawn, rather than dropping you all the way back to... Okay. So sounds like there are some options here. Hey, cereal's going down. There you go. Yeah. Okay, progress is a bit boring at this stage. I guess we'll stop. Yeah, 2:30, so leave a like if you enjoyed. Here was the part 3 update of beginning the Grandmapocalypse. I'll cut back to a couple days from now or something in part 4.